Hamza, the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ. The story of Hamza's conversion is one of the most strange stories of conversions ever. And it is narrated that Hamza was a well-known archer, he was a well-known hunter, he would go on long expeditions. So during one of these trips, it so happened that the Prophet ﷺ was in Mecca and Abu Jahl met him close to the mountain of Safa. And Abu Jahl was in a foul mood that day for some reason. And he cursed him like he had never cursed him before. Verbally, he didn't touch him, he just kept on cursing him and his ancestors. And the Prophet ﷺ remained silent, not saying one word back, until Abu Jahl basically got tired and went on his way. And the women of the Banu Hashim got extremely insulted because they don't care, Muslim and non-Muslim, this is, you're insulting our tribe. So when Hamza returned, some of the women began to basically taunt him. What type of leader are you of the Banu Hashim when your own nephew is insulted and no one stands up to defend him? So he said, what happened? So they said, Abu Jahl stood there for 15, 20 minutes, however long, just haranguing him, just insulting him, and not one person stood up to defend him. And he said this and he said that, and they narrated all that he said. And Hamza's blood began to boil. And he asked, did the other people see, was this a public insult? Because it's a matter of pride for him. They said the whole of Mecca saw it. And so he basically lost it. And he marched to the Kaaba, still with his bows and arrows and hunting equipment, and he marched straight to Abu Jahl and took his bow and smacked him across the face with his bow. Caused a huge gush of blood to come out. And he said, how dare you curse my own nephew? And then he didn't even realize what he was saying, and he blurted out, and I too am a follower of his religion. He didn't plan this, it was just anger. And when he hit Abu Jahl like this, and Abu Jahl was sitting down and he was standing up, the Banu Makhzum that were around him stood up to go and defend him. But Abu Jahl said, leave him be. For wallahi, today I cursed his nephew like I never cursed him before. And then Hamza returned home, confused, dazed. What am I going to do now? I don't know if this is the truth or not. And he made a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he said, oh Allah, you know that I am one of the leaders of the Quraysh, and I have now said something that I don't know, I cannot take it back, it's too embarrassing to take back. So if this matter is true, then cause my heart to be guided to it. And if it is not true, then cause me to die right now. And he spent the most miserable night of his life, tossing, turning, thinking what to do. And the next morning he went to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, oh my nephew, this is what happened yesterday. So the Prophet ﷺ stood up and began talking to him, admonishing him, telling him about Islam, exhorting him, convincing him of La ilaha illallah, until finally after that conversation, Hamza said, I testify that you are a truthful person and you're speaking the truth, and now I don't ever want to return to the paganism or the religion of my forefathers. So when Hamza accepted Islam, this was a big boost for the Prophet ﷺ because he finally had support from the elders of the Quraysh. And when Hamza converted, Ibn Ishaq says, they had to tone down their animosity. They had to tone down the irritation of the Prophet ﷺ and the Muslims.